Okay, guys. So let's begin tonight's training. I appreciate everybody being here on time. I can tell you that I put a lot of effort and thought into tonight's training because I really am hoping to be able to help you guys, those of you who are newer to, get your business off the ground, those of you who have been around for a while to maybe do a reset and add some things that might help you do the business faster and simpler. I don't like the word easier because I don't believe in easy money, but it should be simple. What we do is pretty simple. So what I've done is I've taken several of my trainings that I have over the years. I've created a bunch of trainings for my team over the years, and I took some bits and pieces from several of them to give you sort of an composite, if you will, training. It's gonna be around 3-way fall because I think it's such an important element of what we do. But I'm going to build in a couple of other concepts in here. I want to make this highly interactive, so be prepared to participate, please. Also, uh, if you're prepared and if you're brave enough, turn on your cameras because it's always better for the energy in the meeting when you can see other people, other faces. I highly recommend in general when you're doing presentations, when you're participating in Zooms, to have your camera on. That's just my advice because new people who are looking and making a decision. There you go. Thank you, Joe. People who are thinking, should I join this business? Should I be involved with this crowd? If they can see faces of people, the trust goes up. If everybody is, invisible in their pictures or just names, where am I? Who are these people? I don't know anything about them. So again, I appreciate people who are turning it on. I know it's sometimes not comfortable. Sometimes we're not prepared. Obviously, use your judgment. But in the future, if you know that you're going on a presentation Zoom and there will be guests, your guests or other people's guests, respect that also. We should play a team. Part of my training today is going to be becoming a professional in this business, knowing your role and playing your part. So when you're on a Zoom, on a presentation Zoom, your part is to show up, pay attention to the speaker. You don't want to turn on your camera and read a book or watch TV. No, you want to be on camera paying attention to what the speaker is saying. So the guests who are watching you see that, wow, this is, people are paying attention. This is important. So anyway, I appreciate everybody being on here, being with their cameras on. And let's go with my slides. I did prepare slides, believe it or not. I'll have to share them. Where's my share button? My share button just disappeared. Share, here we go. Share slides. Okay, so what we're gonna start with, hopefully everybody can see my slides that says amateurs and professionals. I want to preface this training with the fact that all of you who are here, I'm hoping, I want this for you really bad. I want you to become professionals in this business. And there are very few, I'm being honest with you. Most people in network marketing are amateurs. They don't take the time and they don't put in the effort to become professional. To become professionals takes, attending training, watching videos, reading, learning, studying. But I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, guys, if you decide to do that, the payback here is much better, much richer, not just in money, but overall than any other profession that I know. You can become the best version of yourself here if you decide to become a professional. Let me quickly run through what I mean by amateurs versus professionals. So, the amateurs in this profession use the word "I'll try" a lot, not words. Let's see what happens. I'll give it a try. Professionals say, "I'll do it." And again, the difference is subtle, but "I'll try" is a very weak word. Because if you think about it, who is in charge of you? Who decides what happens in your life? You do. So get rid of "I'll try," and do use words like "I'll do." Amateurs talk a lot and don't listen well. And professionals ask questions and listen well. God gave us one mouth and two ears. So that's a clue. We should be listening a lot more than talking. And that's a skill you can learn. Everything here that I'm listing are skills that you can learn if you choose to. Amateurs see Trevorium as a $350 business, and that's how they treat it. And professionals see it as $1 million business because that's what it is and treat it accordingly. I got to be admitting people. Yeah, Anna, if you can admit people who are in the waiting room, that would help me. You have that capability. And also mute if you see the microphone's unmuted. You can mute people. Let's keep going. I have an assistant. My wife is helping me. That's another perk in this business. We work together. Amateurs want fast and easy results, right? And we all know that this is not it. You have to invest time and effort. There is nothing, I believe. Everything I'm telling you is my personal beliefs, but they're tested. I'm 63. So I've tested a lot of these theories. I believe that nothing that's worthwhile is fast and easy. It's just my belief. And again, I just haven't seen anything that contradicts that theory. Amateurs don't come to trainings. They're not here with us tonight. And every time you talk to them, they use "I know" a lot. They say, "Oh, I know." Everything you tell them, "I know." And I always say, if you know, how come you're not an ambassador already? If you know everything. Professionals attend all the trainings, and not just for themselves. They attend trainings in order to teach the team. You want to be here, take all the notes. By the way, all these slides, I encourage you to take screenshots because you need to have the access to this material and teach your team all this. So when I fill up the slide like this one, at this point, the slide is full. I will pause for a second so you can take a screenshot or take a picture of this so you have access to it. Okay, so everybody should have this picture. Let's keep going. So now let's get into the meat of today's training is power of three-way calls. So listen, guys, we keep talking about three-way calls, do them, use them a lot, and nobody does. I guess people are embarrassed. People come from traditional corporate background that everybody tells them you learn as quickly as possible and don't bother anybody. You do it yourself. If you ask for help, that means you are incompetent. That means you're weak. That means you're not a good employee. Well, here it's just the opposite. We want you to call on us, people who are more experienced, people who are experts in this, because we can help you to do this much faster and easier than you do by yourself. This business is very difficult to do by yourself. It should be a team effort, So, hold on. Okay. Hold on, we had to mute somebody. Okay, sorry. So, what is a three-way call? Three-way call is getting an edified third-party expert on a phone with a prospect. Okay, so that's the technical definition of a three-way call, and we'll explain what it means better. But basically, to translate it into plain English, it's when a newer person uh, connects their guest with somebody else. Okay, so why do we do it? Because when you have a prospect is usually somebody who you know, therefore you have trust between you and your prospect. Okay, but usually your prospects, when you call them with a new business idea, they know that you're brand new, that you haven't made any money, that you really don't know what you're talking about because you're repeating somebody else's words. That's what they are thinking. They may not know, they may not tell you that, but that's what's going through their mind. So there's no respect in this business. There's trust, but no respect. So here, if you edify, and I will give you a definition of what edification means, but basically, simply speaking, it's speak highly of somebody else. So when you bring on a third party, third person, and you talk highly of them, now your friend, the prospect, listens to this person with respect. This person has influence over your friend. And the main thing here is it's very duplicatable. The process that I'm going to teach you, anybody can do. You don't need special knowledge. You don't need any special skills. You can just learn how to bring on somebody else on a three-way call. And the prospect who is observing this process is making a decision. Do I want to do this with these guys? Also is seeing that this is simple. They can also bring on somebody else on the phone. They don't need to learn a lot of new stuff. They don't need to have all the answers to all the questions. Okay? That's why even if you know the answers, you want to bring somebody else on the line so the prospect sees that it's simple. They don't need to know all the answers. I hope that's making sense. So what I'm going to try and beat into your head, these are the funny ways of saying it, but I'm going to bang it over your head. It's not a sign of weakness. Making three-way calls is a necessity in this business. And listen, we keep repeating it over and over and over again, and still the majority of new people don't make three-way calls. They try to explain everything and answer all the questions on their own, and it doesn't work, and the business falls apart, and people quit. They say, "Oh, this is not for me." I spoke to, and they talked to very few people. I spoke to 5 people. They all laughed at me, and I'm quitting. That's what happens. First of all, not enough people. And second, don't talk to them. Invite them to talk to an expert. Invite them to put them on a three-way call. That's what you should be using. When do you use three-way calls? You can use them to invite a prospect to an event, which is what you should be doing. Process should be you have a prospect, you put them on a three-way call, and somebody else invites them on a scheduled Zoom. That's how it should be. Or closing. Prospect attended a presentation. Now they're thinking, and you need help in enrolling them and registering them in Travorium. Make a three-way call. Anchoring. Somebody joined. Somebody actually signed up. You want somebody to welcome them, set up the strategy, what's going to happen, what the expectations should be. We call it anchoring. Also, a three-way call is appropriate. So feel free to take a picture of this slide. It's now finished. You can record it, take a picture if you want, so you can use it later and teach your team the same thing. Okay, I'm going to keep going now. So we're gonna go through each role, each position. Like so, again. So this is a team sport we're playing. Let's say you are the recruiter. Then we're going to talk about the expert, what they do, and then guys. And I want you to start thinking ahead of time. I'm going to ask for three brave souls, three volunteers at the end of this training, and we're going to role play. We're going to have a recruiter, we're going to have a prospect, and we're going to have an expert. And we're gonna use a cheat sheet. I don't expect you to remember all of this now, and I'm going to help you. But I think doing it is the best way to learn, to memorize, to practice, and we're going to do that. So, recruiter. So this is, let's say you're, whether you knew or you're already a seasoned partner and you've been around for a while, it doesn't matter. You should be using three-way calls all the time. So you have a friend who you want to invite to a presentation. So you're going to call your expert. And the definition of an expert, by the way, is anybody but you. It doesn't have to be ambassador. It doesn't have to be your prospects don't have any idea what an ambassador is, what a four-star director or three. It just has to be somebody other than you. So you call that person and you tell them, listen, I'm going to make a few phone calls trying to invite my friends to Zoom. Our Zoom is on Thursday at 8 p.m. That's the Zoom I'm going to ask you to help me invite to. Okay? So you call them, you text them, and to make sure that they're available that time. That's step number one. Now, you need to know when you talk to your friend, or already you know them well enough, you need to know what is their why. Okay? We all know what the why is, the reason that they're looking at Travorium. What are they looking for? If you don't know their why, you're going to be a salesperson. You're going to be selling them something, as opposed to if you do know their why, you're going to be solving problem. You're going to be solving something. You're going to be helping them authentically and sincerely. And if you can do that, you're going to have much better results. If you view this whole thing as we help people, as opposed to we try to register and enroll them into Travorium because we make money, it's going to be a much better and much easier and much more fun of a business if you help and solve problems. So you need to remember, we go back to professionals ask questions and listen. So if you're calling people who you know, you already know something about them, and there's a likelihood that you already know what they're looking for. It may be more money, it may be more time, it may be helping kids, helping parents, something. And you need to communicate that to your expert. Okay, so now you have your prospect on the phone. Okay. You have to edify the expert. You have to talk highly of somebody. Why? I'm going to show you in more detail later, but basically, your friend, you want your friend to respect the person you're about to bring on the phone. So you need to talk about them highly, and I'll give you more details. Now you're calling the expert. You need to know how to do that, by the way, technically, how to make a three-way call on your phone, whether it's regular phone call or WhatsApp or Telegram. There's so many ways now to call people. They all have a way of making a three-way call, adding several people on a call. So now when you call the expert, your prospect is still muted. So your prospect, your friend, the person who you're inviting to the Zoom, cannot hear your conversation with your expert. So you quickly tell the expert, I have my friend on the phone. His name is John. I know him for many years. He's working 12 hours a day. He's looking for more time in his life. That's his why. He's making good money, but he has no life at all. And that's why he's interested in looking at what we do. You may mention his personality type. I'm going to get into that. There are different personality types that I'm going to talk to you about. If you know their type, communicate it to the experts so they know which buttons to push, so to speak, how to address this person in their language so they can understand what we're saying. and then remind the expert, we're inviting them to our Zoom on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Okay? And then you connect both parties. Okay? So now your friend and your expert are on. Make a brief introduction and do not re-edify. Don't start telling your friend again, oh, I have this great person on the phone. Are they making a lot of money? They have a big team. They have all the answers. Don't do that. You should have already done that beforehand. Don't do it with the expert on the phone because it's weird. The person that you're edifying now has to start thanking you. Oh, come on, you don't mean that. No, don't do that. John, this is Stacy. Stacy, this is John. And then you stop talking. Step number 8, very important. Put yourself on mute. That's ideal. And listen. Do not add anything to the conversation. That's not your role. Expert now takes over, and the expert knows what to do or should know after this training. That's why we're on here. So the expert, and I use the word expert not because they know everything. It's just, again, remember, expert is anybody but not you, a third party. Take a picture of this. Now this slide is full. Feel free to take a snapshot so you have all this. Okay, we move on. If you guys have any questions, I don't mind if you unmute yourself and interrupt. Ideally, save it till the end, because I probably will answer the question, but if something is bugging you and you don't understand something, it's okay, I don't mind. So now, this is the triangle of trust. This is what edification is all about. So you are the recruiter. Let's say you are inviting your friend, who we're calling a prospect, and there's trust between you because you know each other, and you've known each other probably for a long time, okay? Now you're introducing a third party, an expert. You respect the expert because you know that they've accomplished something, they're more seasoned, maybe they have a higher rank, doesn't matter. But you also want to edify your expert to your prospect. You want to tell your prospect why they should listen to what the expert says. Okay, so that's what's called edification. That's speaking highly of somebody else. So now let's talk about personality types. So there's 4. You might have heard this somewhere else. There's 4 personality types. I call them by sea creature names, but they're also similar labels with colors. So I'm going to do both, colors and sea creatures. And the reason you want to know this concept, sometimes you can tell by talking to somebody what the personality type is. Sometimes you can't. We all have a dominant personality types. Very few people are just one. I don't think anybody is just one type. We all combine several types, but typically we have a dominant personality type. So let's start with shark or red color, okay? Then there's sea urchin or green color, dolphin or blue color, and a whale, yellow color. So what does all this mean? The shark, the red personality, is typically somebody very ambitious, competitive, and motivated by money and likes to win. People like that talk very fast and like to be talked to fast. They don't like to waste any time because time is money. Talk fast. Don't waste my time. Get right to the point. That's the shark or red personality. So with the people like that, if you know that that's who you're talking to, and it's going to take some practice. I don't expect you to, starting this minute, to immediately know who is which personality. But you want to show them the money. You want to show them the income potential, emphasize the financial benefits, talk about different contests and competitions that we run, awards that these people like to win, and that's what you should mention to them, okay? Sea urchin. This is me, for example. I know that I'm predominantly sea urchin, like fact, numbers, Pay attention to smallest details. Often an engineer or an accountant, I'm an engineer by education, does not like fast and loud talking people. So if you talk to somebody like that in a loud manner or very fast, you lose them right away. They're just not going to relate to you. And these things can be very important because sometimes we talk to people and we have no idea why we said such logical, smart things and they just didn't get it. They just didn't listen. They just didn't hear what we said because you're not speaking their language. Understand, if you're talking to somebody in Greek and they don't speak Greek, no matter how what you say, you might say greatest thing, but they're in a different language. The person doesn't understand. Same thing here. If you're talking, money, and you're loud and you're fast, and you're talking to a sea urchin or somebody with that personality, you're going to lose them. So with them, you need to explain the business model, the compensation plan, the numbers, statistics, talk about the industry of tourism. Be prepared to answer a lot of questions. But I can tell you, if you enroll an urchin in the business, they're not going to quit. These are not emotional people who enroll on an emotional high and then next day they sign out because the high went away. These people make calculated decisions and they stick with it for a long time. Okay. Next, the dolphin. These are people who like to party and have fun. They're attracted to humor, jokes. They want to have a good time. Our business is ideal for them. If you talk about tourism, traveling, seeing the world, world tours is an ideal concept for dolphins. How we meet other people, how we make friends by traveling the world, it suits their personality perfectly. So that's the dolphin. And finally, the shark. I'm sorry, shark. The whale. Whale is a person who likes to help and take care of others. They're not going to be motivated by anything that you point out as a benefit to them, but if you show them how they can help others, so talk about residual income, how it brings people together, strengthens families, because it's true. Typically, any tension in a family is due to financial reasons. That if you can resolve financial stress in a family, that's a big deal. Also, tourism reduces stress, and it's the best medicine. It improves health if you can travel. So again, write down these personalities because they're important in the conversation. When you edify the third party, your expert, to your friend, if you know your friend's predominant personality type, you're going to emphasize that in an expert. So for example, if you're talking to a shark, your friend likes money. You're going to say, I'm going to bring on a person on the phone who's making a lot of money. Don't lie. Don't make stuff up. If they're making a lot of money, say that. If they're not, find a way. Maybe somebody in their team is making a lot of money. One thing you have to remember, you never want to exaggerate or make things up in this business. It will all in life, I think, first of all, and especially in this business, it will always come back to bite you in the butt. Everything you say has to be authentic and true. People smell it, people feel it, and it's just the right thing to do. That's just how I feel. It will help you because if you start making things up, inevitably, I've seen this many, many, many times. It comes back to hurt you. So again, knowing personality types, bring one up that the person you're talking to, your prospect, can relate to. If you don't know what they can relate to, in your edification, touch on all four personalities. For example, you can say, listen, I'm going to let you talk to a person, she's making a lot of money, or people in her team are making a lot of money. Okay, this is you in case your friend is a shark. In case your friend is an urchin, she has all the information, can answer any questions you have. That addresses the urchin side of the person. Everything she does, she turns into fun and adventure. She loves to travel. That's for a dolphin in your friend. And finally, she loves to help her team. I asked her a million questions and she patiently answered them all and explained everything. This is in case they have a whale personality. Take a picture of this. Again, I hope it's making sense. It all contributes towards this conversation and enrolling and edification on a three-way call. Now, let's talk about a different role, a different position in our team, expert. Again, anyone other than the recruiter. So your teammate calls you and says, "Listen, I have my friend on the phone. They are again they're working 12 hours a day. They have no time. That's why they're looking. We want to invite them to a Thursday 8 o'clock Zoom." And I think they're very money oriented. I think they're sort of a shark personality, but I'm not sure. Okay, bring them on, you say. Then you introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Mark. Then you're going to say, "Listen, Stacy, your friend Stacy is doing great. She," and again, try to address all personality types. She's helping people make money. She knows what we do really well. Remember, urchin, shark. She's helping her team, whale, and she has lots of fun with her team. Again, if I don't know who I'm talking to, what the personality type is, I'm going to try to cover all four to the best of my ability. I'm edifying the recruiter. I'm edifying the person who invited the prospect. Then I'm going to tell them my story, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a training on how to do that. You should know your story. If somebody wakes you up in the middle of the night, you should. Some people call it your elevator pitch. You have 60 seconds with somebody in an elevator, and they ask you, "What do you do?" You should have that. You should not. You should not be thinking about what to say. If you want to be a professional in this business, you should prepare the 60-second story. And I'm going to show you what the structure of your story should be. Then you want to tell them about the vision of the company, where we're going, what Travorium is accomplishing, new countries, new world tours. What I tell people is, I tell people, listen, we're with our business model, with our subscription approach, we're after booking. We're going to surpass booking. That's my vision of where Travorium is going. Okay, and then you say, this Thursday at 8 o'clock, we're going to have an awesome event. People who are going to be presenting the business are incredible people. It's a very rare opportunity to understand what we do from the horse's mouth, from the best source ever. I hope you can make it. And that's it. If you want to take a picture of this, feel free to do so. This is you being an expert and understand again what we're doing. If you know this, so if somebody from your team calls you and says, "Listen, I in the next 15 minutes, I have time to make 3, 4, 5 phone calls. Can you be my expert? Can I make three-way calls with you?" You should not need to discuss much. You should know exactly what they're asking you for. And all you need to ask is maybe, what event am I inviting them for? And that's it. And then they will call you and say, "Okay, I have my friend on the phone. They are a dolphin. They want to have fun. They want to travel the world. And here you go." And then they connect you. If you know your part, if you know what position you're playing, like, a football team, that's why they practice all the time, because they need to know if they get the ball, what to do with it. They don't think, "Oh, okay, well, I have the ball now. Where do I run? Where do I turn?" They know exactly what they're doing. If you want to be a professional, and I hope sincerely that you do, that's where we need to get to. We need to do these trainings, you need to attend them, and we need to practice our positions in this game. So now, you as an expert need to tell your story. As a professional, you need to always have the same story, word for word, memorized. And it consists of 4 sentences, if you will. It can be more than one sentence, but it should not be more than 60 seconds. And every time, by the way, when you're on a Zoom or in a live event and somebody, your upline says, can you do a testimonial? Can you come up front? Can you come to the front of the room and give us a testimonial? That's what you should give, your story. And it should not be a trainemonial. You should not start telling people how great Travorium is, because that's not your job. It's not your position. The person in front of the room with a microphone is selling Travorium. Your job is to tell your story so people in the room can possibly relate to who you are and what you went through. So, your background, who you were before this business, what you were doing professionally or in life. And then, number 2, what was the problem in your life? What you didn't like? Something that made you look for options, something different, something additional. Then number 3, solution that you found, this business, network marketing, specifically Travorium, and how you feel about the future. Okay? Anybody wishes to volunteer and unmute themselves and tell me, what do you think out of these 4 points, what do you think is the most important one? Anybody? You put it in
How you
chat.
feel about the future?
Okay, that's a good guess. Who? Anybody else? Okay, I don't want to waste too much time.
What
Or
you
why
didn't
you
like?
find the solution that you found?
Okay, also a good guess. Number 2 is the right answer. Number 2 is what everybody wants to hear. And number 2 is what everybody will relate to. That's how people relate to you. Not how great what you're doing, what you've accomplished. It's the problem that you had and you wanted to get rid of or overcome. So now professionals know that. Amateurs keep 1 and 2. And this story of an amateur is, listen, I found this great company, Travorium. Jump in, you can make a lot of money, and we're all going to be rich. This is what amateurs do. So guys, important, take the picture of this. This should be your story. We are not used to talking about negative things. We all want to look good and say that everything is great. We found solution. We're making money. We're going to make a lot of money. No, tell the world the truth. Tell them what was the problem. And it might still be the problem, but you are working on improving your life, getting rid of the problem, making things better. That's the goal, and that's what people want to know about you. It's so important. It's so key. So these are the 4 things. Don't do this. This is a problem. This is a mistake. But this is what most people do. They never get to 1 and 2. They just do 3 and 4. Okay? Now, anyone should be able and prepared to play the expert, right? So both parts. We all know how to be the recruiter, or we should know, but you should also be an expert for your team. And when you talk to your team and you do trainings, you should tell them, guys, we should practice so every one of you can call every one of you. You all should be able to do one or the other, be a recruiter when you need somebody to talk to your friend, or be somebody who your friend can call with their prospect on the line and do a 3-way call with you. And how do you get there? By attending these trainings and practice, practice, practice. So now, why do we practice things? So I don't know if you ever heard this training. There's 4 stages of knowledge. Okay. First one is when you are unconsciously incompetent. I'm going to use an example of driving a car. When you're 5 years old, you are not aware that you don't know how to drive. It's not in your life. You just don't think about it. It's something that you're unconscious about, the fact that you don't know how to drive. When you turn 14, 15, you become aware. You are now consciously incompetent. You know that you don't know how to drive. And then, maybe your mom or dad put you in the car and say, okay, let's just go to a vacant parking lot and drive around a little bit, and you start practicing, and then you take a test and you start driving, but you're still very nervous. You're consciously competent. You know how to drive, but you have to think about every little thing that you're doing, every turn of the wheel, every gear shift, everything is conscious. But as years go by, and as you drive, I'm sure it has happened to you that you get somewhere and you have no idea how you got there, because you were thinking about something, you were listening to a song, and you are now unconsciously competent. You're on a complete autopilot. You don't think about it. So our goal here is, in everything that you want to be good at, is practice enough so you become unconsciously competent. So when somebody calls you on the phone and says, listen, I have this real estate broker. He has a 100-agent office, and he wants to know about Shavorian, but I don't know how to invite him to Zoom. Can you help me? You know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly what to say, because you've practiced and you're now unconsciously competent. Okay, guys, I so hope that you're taking this in and it's making sense, because this can make such a big difference in your business. If you use these things and if you practice and you come to trainings and you become better. So now, who wants to volunteer? I need 3 brave souls, and we need 1 recruiter, 1 expert, and 1 prospect. Feel free to unmute yourself. And oops. Yeah, let me escape this. Tamara is asking, hello, Mark, can you show one more your dolphin slide? Okay, hold on. I'm going to do this so I can go through the slides like this. But here's my dolphin slide. Here's the dolphin slide. So, any volunteers, guys? If you want to become unconsciously competent, listen, and don't worry, we're a friendly audience. It's not going to be smooth. We're going to stumble through this together. I'm going to help you.
I'm a prospect.
You're a prospect. Okay, perfect. Give me your name.
Lucia.
Lucia is going to be a prospect. Perfect. I love it. Lucia is the bravest. Okay, we need 2 more.
I'm gonna be a recruiter.
Recruiter. Irina. And who's our expert? 1 vacancy.
Anna.
Who? Anna?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mark, why not you? You
No,
always
no, no.
expert. No.
No. I want you guys to be somebody who's practicing. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but I want you guys to come on.
Right.
Okay, I could
Anybody?
switch with somebody. If somebody wanted to be a recruiter, I could try the expert. It's okay, I don't care.
Okay, so we need a 3rd person. Come on, guys. This is the test of your
Well,
bravery.
I'll try to be the recruiter or the expert. I'll
Okay,
fumble through it. This
Okay,
is Rodney.
perfect. Rodney, perfect. So we'll make you an expert. Rodney is our expert. Okay, so now remember your roles. So we have Irina is trying to bring Lucia into the business. Okay, so let's go back to our slide. Let's see. Okay. So Irina is going to call Rodney, and this is before anything happens. So Irina, looking at this slide, what you're calling Rodney or texting him maybe to do what?
Okay. So what should I do? I should start to call to
just
talk to
say,
Rodney.
yeah, just say what you're going to do. Reading this slide that I have displayed, what are you going to talk to Rodney? What are you going to tell him?
Hi, Rodney. How are you? Look, I have a lady. Her name is
Lucia.
Lucia. She's interesting into the business. So, when do you have time to talk to us?
Or better yet, you tell him that
Yeah, or
I'm
yeah. Or
going
as
to
a,
talk
like,
to her. I plan to talk to her in such and such a time. Are you going to be
yes.
available?
Are you going to
And
be
thi-
available, Rodney?
and you can do this either via phone call or a text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well,
So now, Rod, go ahead.
yes, I'd be available at the time you had available, or your time of your choosing, or at 8 p.m. tomorrow,
Perfect.
whichever would work
So
for her.
so now you set up the time. Now, number two, you, Irina, in conversation with Lucia, you, or because you know Lucia, you maybe already know her why, right? So now
Yes.
so now time comes to call Rodney. So first you call Lucia, and you go through number three. So let's say, for the example's sake, assume that Lucia is a whale. You know that she's all about helping other people. She lives to make the world a better place. So now you want to talk to her about Rodney, who you're about to connect with her. So what are you going to tell her?
I said, hi, Lucia. How are you?
I'm
Look,
good. How are you?
long time no speak to you. How have you been?
Oh, good.
How was your life?
Life is not so good. It's too much work. I'm always on duty.
Yes, you know what? I think it's time to a little bit relax. Look, I met this guy. He's so awesome. And I'm joined to this company. And I know you're so big on helping people. Maybe it's going to be interesting for you. What do you think?
Well, I've been looking for something that I can do right now because I actually hate working in the office. I want to stay home and work at home. And I think with my past experience, I guess I will listen to your business and see what it can do for me.
Okay, give me 1 second. I will join Rodney on the second line. 1 second, hold on, okay? 1 second.
Okay. All
And
right.
I'm calling to Rodney.
So now you're
Hi,
calling
Rodney.
So now
Hi,
you're calling,
Rodney.
and when Rodney picks up, just remember,
You
Lucia
have to
still,
mute CJ. Lucia
yeah,
must be muted.
yeah, Lucia. Well, yeah. So Lucia
Yeah.
does not hear your
Listen to the
conversation
conversation.
with Rodney. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not listening. Let's
Yeah,
take
hi,
it.
hi, Rodney. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Good. Remember we spoke yesterday about the lady? I would love you to introduce our business. So she's on the third line, and she's all about helping people. Very nice lady, tired of working on her job. So let's talk all together. What do you think? You ready?
Yeah, I would love to talk to her. Let's go ahead and do this.
And there's
Okay,
one
one
more,
second.
Irina, there's one
Yeah.
more piece that's important. You want to tell Rodney what are we inviting her to? Because Rodney's job is to get her to attend the Zoom. So he needs to know which specific Zoom you inviting her to. So you tell them, let's say Thursday at 8. You just give him the time and day of the Zoom. That's all he needs to know. So now you said that. Okay, now keep going. Now connect Lucia.
So, hi, Lucia. We have Rodney on our third line. Rodney, this is Lucia.
Oh,
Lucia.
hi.
Well, hello, Lucia. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I hear you were interested in the fantastic opportunity that we have, and we've got a lot of different. Uh,
Rodney, just follow the script on the screen.
okay. Yep. Yep. This is Rodney. I've been with Trevorium for over a year now, and we're doing really well. I'd like to. The vision of our company is to assist people who want to expand their background, their uh, desire to help other people, and to make a better life for themselves. We have a event coming up. Would you be interested in attending and hearing more about from others like myself?
Oh,
Okay,
sure. When will that be?
let's pause for a second, Rodney. So let's go back to doing it step by step. So important part of this conversation is to briefly edify the recruiter, in this case, Irina, who the person who sets up the call. You want to tell Lucia that you're lucky, something like, for example, you're lucky to be working with Irina because, and again, since Irina told you that she wants to help the world, she is a whale personality. She's all about helping others. So here in edifying Irina, you can stress that point also. You're lucky to be working with Irina. She's all about helping others to succeed, for example, something like that.
Yep.
So that's what you want to start with. And then number 3, you want to tell your story. So you said that you were with Trevorium, but remember this, this is what you want to, in 60 seconds, tell Lucia.
Okay. Well, Lucia, oh, shoot, you got me.
No, take your time. Listen, we have time. Don't worry about it. Nobody's judging you. We're all practicing.
We are just practicing, yes.
Well, Lucia, this is Rodney, and I've been with Trevorium for a little better than a year, and it has been fantastic. I want to thank you for. Oh shoot, I forgot the other gal's name already.
Irina.
Irina. I understand Irina has contacted you, and she is a great gal that has been with the company and also is very, very knowledgeable. When I started with this company, the first things that I didn't like was stepping out of my comfort zone and talking to individuals about the company, about this wonderful opportunity. What I found out is by talking to people and opening up, that there's a lot of people that, like yourself, want to help others, and you can do this through the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel about the future with this company that you can help others travel, grow, and earn a residual income.
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Rodney, this is very good, but I can tell you that another thing that you want to include in here is something about you personally that caused you to be looking for another opportunity, something in your life. For example, you were, what do you do professionally right now, or used to do or do now? What's your job or business?
Well, I was warehouse.
Okay, so you worked in a warehouse. So you can say,
Yeah.
for example, I worked in a warehouse for many years, and it was very physically challenging. And as I was getting older, it became more and more difficult for me. And I started looking for other ways of making money that did not involve such physical This is an example, you know, I'm just giving you, you want to tell, you want to share with with the person some pain point, you know, in your life that caused you to open your mind, open your ears to other opportunities. That's important. But you did very well. So okay, so now that you told your story, let's go back to the screen. So now you tell your story. You talked about the vision of the company, and when you invite, my suggestion is to invite, not just ask her, "Would you like to?" or "Can you attend?" Don't even ask that question. Tell her that on Thursday at 8 o'clock, you're going to have an unbelievable event. The speaker, the presenter, is somebody who we usually can't get access to such people, to people of that caliber. And we all are lucky to somehow have gotten, you know, an hour of their time. And on Thursday at 8 o'clock, they're going to do a Zoom. And then at the end of all this, you can just ask, can I put you down as it's coming? Will you be able to attend? Because first, you give her lots of reasons why she would want to attend. Because if you start with, can you come on Thursday at 8:30, very easy to say, no, I'm busy. I have something else. So first, you want to tell her all the compelling reasons why she should drop everything she's doing and change her schedule if she's planning to, and be there on the Zoom. And then, so invitation has to be strong and firm. Okay, and again, that's something we can practice, but that's how you want to invite.
That makes sense.
Okay, okay. Very good. And now Lucia, of course, has no options but say, yes, I'll be there, right, Lucia?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So guys, listen, I appreciate it. You all did great. But now we know what we need to practice.
Yes.
Feel free within your teams to do this. You all have people who've been around for a little longer than you. Call them and say, listen, I want to make sure that when the real opportunity comes up, we are both prepared to play these parts, to play these positions. Okay. So I think, guys, okay, so it's been an hour. I think that's enough.
Can I have a question here?
Go ahead.
I've had a problem whereby my first person that I approached, what I said to her was that I have just joined this company that helps me to get discounts on my travel, like flights and accommodation. I like it because I travel a lot, but I didn't get into the business part of it whereby you have to recruit people and all that. So all I was telling her is that my interest in this company was the fact that I would get these good discounts when traveling because I travel a lot. But then I wanted her to go get anything else from my expert. So she then called the expert, and then when the expert, then explained everything.
Hello. Oops. Did we lose her? I think we just lost her. Right? Anna, did we lose her? Okay, it was a good question, but I didn't get the end of it. Okay, does anybody else have any questions in the meantime? Guys, nobody? Okay, let's see if she comes back. And if she doesn't, then we'll wrap this up. Guys, I really hope that this was helpful. Actually, let me stop the recording.